Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think you'll have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
And we won't stop. We will not stop.
Sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
See this? How you cannot go?
Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Come on in, come on in. I know this is Friday. This is our Friday. You guys, it's Good Friday. It's a Good Friday. Today is, December the 8th. And we're almost getting into the New Year's. We're getting close to our Christmas in July. You guys, don't miss it. It is coming up. We haven't got a scheduled date yet, but we're going to be working on it all this week to try to figure out what day, what time, when. And some people have let me know what they can't do and they can do. And are we going to do it on a Sunday? I don't know, because that Sunday that they want to do it on is the day I have to go back to work. So that may not work for me. But we may do it right before Christmas. So we are getting that handled and things is happening. You guys, we're going to talk today about the Jeremy Best. And it was about a 10-month-old baby that came up missing in the Idaho area. We were all searching for it. I think it was like November the 30th that he came up missing. And that's kind of they were saying that he was kidnapped by the father. And the mother was, when they arrived to the home, she was deceased. There was a 911 call out from that home. And when they got there, that's when they found the mother deceased. And she was with child. Hey, Marsha, how you doing? Hey, Margie Mack. Woke the God, Lisa Taylor. I seen Freddie in the building. Cynthia's in here. And I seen Amari come in here and Gail done came up in here. How you guys doing? And Nancy LaRose is in the building. She says, hello all. And I like to see you guys come in. Anywho's, give a shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for showing up. I know Christmas is it was a year this year, wasn't it? If you didn't go through it, then you missed out because everybody I know went through it this year, but we made it through it. We got through it. But there's other people in this world that's not as fortunate as us. We're still here. We're still making it. We're still surviving all the things, you know. But anyway, you guys, let's talk about this case down in Idaho, or up there in Idaho for me. So this all happened on November the 30th. And what it came to be, let me make sure I tell you guys what they said. They said what you said. Because I jumped in there really quick and I wanted more information, but anyway. So the court documents revealed the mental state of the man charged with murdering his wife. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, they're only charging him for the murder of his wife. And so far, the autopsy probably haven't came back for the baby, the 10-month-old. But for the wife, and they're charging him for the unborn child. And if you guys did not know, he shot his wife. He didn't strangle her, he didn't choke her, he didn't hit her. He shot his wife in the back. I heard that. I was in the courtroom. Not physically, but you know, they had it, they had it, they was Zoom, and you got to hear the whole thing. Now, I'm going to tell you what I seen, I'm going to tell you what I heard. Jeremy was crying. Like he couldn't believe what he undid. You guys, this man is very unstable. And I'm just going to tell you like a T.I. is. Some people just like, don't say that. But they are going to do an evaluation on him, a mental competency review. And that review's got to come back by December the 18th. They're going to go back to court. So in 10 days, you see how sometimes some people can go to court for the mental evaluation. They give them 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. This man's going to be evaluated and they're coming back to court December the 18th. That's in 10 days, you guys. So, because today's the 8th. So, they did court. What was it? They did court last Friday on December the 1st. Okay. Well, of course they would have did court. He kidnapped the 10-month-old baby, his baby, and I said to myself, how can you kidnap your own child? Well, they probably couldn't get them charges on him because it was his child, but the child was in danger. The child probably was left in the vehicle, or he tumbled the vehicle and the child rode out. But I know some, we don't know the truth yet, but there's two different stories. One was the child rode out the car and they found the child in the embankment of the ditch. And then the other story that we had heard was the child was in the vehicle in the ditch. But we don't know yet. We don't know how that child passed away. Or he could have. They said down there in Idaho, somebody else was speaking about it that lived down there in Idaho. If it's freezing in Kansas, it's freezing in Idaho. Idaho is north, and we had snow come November the 30th, and we had tons of it too. And we haven't had no snow in a while. It looks like we never had it, but yes, we had snow where people wasn't going to work and people was calling in, and they told you, it's a emergency. Don't even get out and get into this mess if you don't have to. And I did not go to work. I myself did not go to work that day. I told him I can't do it. Matter of fact, it was on the 2nd. I called in and it shows up on my check that I missed a whole day of work because, baby, I was not going to risk my life. So the court documents revealed the mental state of the man charged with murdering his pregnant wife and his unborn child. And like I said, you guys, they did not mention the 10-month-old, but they may not have mentioned the 10-month-old because the autopsy has probably not came back yet to say how that child passed away. We don't know. So it says new court document filed Monday provides insight into the mental state of the 48-year-old Jeremy Best, who is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the death of his wife and their unborn child. A probable cause affidavit states that Deputy Christine Sheriff Office responded to a property in Victor on November the 30th after someone called 911 and hung up. When they listened back to a recording of the 911 call, the affidavit states authorities heard a female's voice repeatedly saying, "Jeremy, no!" followed by the sound of a man's voice saying, "Get the F back. You're going to get shot. And I love you. Love you. Love you." After arriving in the property, they noticed a man standing across the street identified in the affidavits as Timothy. The affidavit states that Timothy told the deputies that prior to his arrival, he heard Jeremy and his wife fighting. He continued to tell, he heard Kylie yell, "Jeremy, stop it. You have baby," followed by 5 gunshots. Okay. The information that what was his name again? Because they want to say Timothy. Timothy informed the deputies he witnessed a black vehicle pulling out of the driveway of the home. He also noticed an infant lived inside the home. After Timothy unanswered attempt to knock on the door of the home, the affidavit states he began walking back down the driveway, which is where he found a half-nude deceased woman laying on the ground outside near one of the 2 shops nestled on the property. One of the shops is Jeremy's business, Jeremy's Auto Repair. Okay. The woman later confirmed to be Kylie was surrounded by a large pool of blood and had gunshot wounds on the right side of her body. The affidavit states that Timothy attempted CPR, and however, she was already dead. With assistance from Kylie's OBGYN provider, Teresa confirmed Kylie was 28 weeks pregnant. So the baby was viable. Remember what I told you what viability is for a baby that's unborn? Somebody put it in the chat if you remember when I told you what the viability. Some places it may be different, but it's between, nobody's responded, so I tell you it's between 20 and 24 weeks. I don't know why I remember that. That's been like 19 years ago that I was taught that. But viability is between 20 and 24 weeks. It all depends on where you live at. So the affidavit states, additionally, officers arrived. Freddie said heartbeat. Girl, do you know the heartbeat really starts way before, like soon as conception? That's all. You don't see it, or we can't hear it, but it do exist. Yeah, it do exist. I mean, that's for the ones in the back. But I ain't the one I'm not in no debate about what you can hear and what you can't hear. I'm just telling you, But the affidavit states additional officers arrived at the scene to assist Timothy because of the extreme circumstances and nature of the crime. The group entered and cleared all 3 structures of the property, while investigative officers found a broken cell phone, a leather pistol holster, and a black revolver. There was also a large gun safe in the master bedroom, according to the court documents. Authority also accused Jeremy of kidnapping his 10-month-old son, Zeke. After the shooting, an Amber Alert was issued early Friday morning. Remember, I told you about 4:30 in the morning. Friday morning for the infant. Zeke's body was found near where Jeremy's car rolled off an embankment. So the baby was found near. So that's more than likely. Like the baby wasn't in the car, you guys. I think, but we still don't know how the baby could have froze, you know. Jeremy's car rolled off the embankment west of Idaho Falls on Saturday. Jeremy has not been charged in connection with Zeke's death, you guys. No details have been released about Zeke's suspected cause of death. At approximately 11:55 a.m. on November the 30th, deputies was dispatched to the Swan Valley General Store. This is in the morning. This is 11:55 in the morning, right before lunch, for a disturbance call regarding a naked man walking through the store. The deputies identified the man was Jeremy. Jeremy was evaluated by EMS at the general store and transported to the Eastern Idaho Regional Medical Center. And then where hospital staff evaluated him for mental health concerns, according to the news release, it is not clear exactly when and why the hospital released Jeremy. Ooh, Lord. But a spokesperson for the hospital said in a statement that Idaho law limits law enforcement, hospital, and healthcare providers from placing individuals on a protective custody hold unless specified clinical criteria is met. When these factors are not present or apparent at the time of the care process, hospitals cannot legally hold a patient against their or their family's wishes. So I told you guys that that's just the way that works. So on Saturday morning, Bonneville Dispatch received a call stating that a man was found in a sleeping bag on the side of the road. The caller said the man was naked and making odd statements, according to a news release. Upon arrival, deputies with the Bonneville Sheriff Department identified the man as Jeremy. The vehicle Jeremy was driving was found nearby down an embankment. Officers also found Zeke, who was deceased. So Jason Walker via webcam from the Bonneville Court jail on Monday, where he could be seen shirtless in a live video being streamed from the jail. Jeremy Best was charged with 2 counts of murder in the first degree, one for shooting his pregnant wife, Kylie Best, and the second for the unborn child she was pregnant with. Jeremy was also charged with 1 count of use of a firearm during a crime. The court ordered that Jeremy undergo a mental competency evaluation. It states he must be examined by a psychiatric or licensed psychologist designated by the Department of Health and Welfare as soon as possible. There is no word if Jeremy will face additional charges in the kidnapping and subsequently death of his 10-month-old son, Zeke. The judge scheduled a preliminary hearing for December the 18th at 9:30 a.m. I will be looking forward to hearing what happened on Monday. Okay? We will be paying attention. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I seen Jeremy. When I first seen him, I said, that man done lost it. He lost it. I did not know he had his own shop. I did not know that his wife was pregnant with child. But, I mean, we've got people that came in here and they sent me the information and said she was with child SP. And I said, oh, I did not know that. But all the things that was told to us, that's what it is. But I'm going to tell you guys something. Jeremy started crying when he was in court. And you know what? I just don't think he believed he did that. He even yelled at the judge. His attorney's name, and some of you might know the attorney. I've never heard of him before, but he's very well known. His attorney's name is Jim Archibald. And people was making comments talking about, dang, here come Jim again. Jim just got done with a big case. So he's very well known. Well, you know what Jeremy said while he was in court? Jeremy said, that's not my attorney. That's the only thing Jeremy said. But I mean, he done wiped away the tears. He done pulled on his hair. He done grabbed his hair. He just sit there now. He wasn't going, ooh. They must have cut off the mic because we could not hear anything other than he said, that's not my attorney. And his attorney just sit there like, yeah, I am. And every time when they was reading that he shot his wife, he killed her, he did it premeditated, he would shake his head like, no, 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 and pull his hair like, oh my God. And he would just, you could tell that he was bawling like, what's done happened? But right now, Jeremy just wants to get out of jail. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, they better not let him out because we all going to be in trouble if Jeremy gets out of jail. See, and I tell people all the time, like, people think that when people lose it, they know exactly what they have done. And you can talk sense into them. You cannot. They've got their mind made up. They hear what they hear. They see what they see. And when you're talking to them, sometimes it's best to just let it go. They even know when you're not talking to them. They know when you're ignoring them. They know when you're being sarcastic. They know that. And it don't matter what you're saying. They're not going to listen to what you're saying because it doesn't make sense to them. They don't want to hear that. They want you to come to their level and talk to them like whatever they're hearing or seeing, you hear it and see it too. So people that don't know about mental health, when you're talking to somebody, you have to be very cautious. And I'm going to tell you why. And it's hard. It's hard to sit back and act like what they're saying is true because you learn this in school. If somebody says, I see pink elephants riding down the street, you can't say, I see them too, just to keep them quiet or make them shut up. You can't say that. So, you know, I've learned if you go and tell them, I don't see them, then it's going to be a very aggressive conversation. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be very cautious about what to say, when to say. And if anybody know me, 99.9% of the time, I would say, okay, and if they start getting aggressive, I really try not to even make sense. I just walk away. I do that all the time at work. There'd be a hollering and an arguing. And they'd be like, what you doing? You just gonna walk away? You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. And you ain't worth S and all this other stuff. And the more I say to them, the more aggressive they're gonna get. Because I'm not seeing it their way. And sometimes they know what they're saying. They can't help what they're saying because, you know, they're either on heavy drugs or they're coming off the heavy drugs or they want heavy drugs, and when they see you, you're part of the problem. No matter how nice you can be, you're part of the problem. That's why they always tell people to don't try to stop somebody, don't try to hold them down, don't try to talk to them and convince them that they're wrong, because they're not going to see it that way. I don't care how good you are. They're not going to see it that way. So, and some people's like, oh no, I got the gift of gab. I can get them to understand it. You'll be sitting there arguing with them all day long. Argue. Holler. You holler. The louder you holler, the louder they holler. They're not just going to let you just holler at them, because at that time, they don't care. Trust me, I see it all day. I see it every day. And I always have to watch my back. Because you never know when somebody gets so angry with you that they just get in their mind, I'll just take you out. Because you're part of the problem. It's you against them. It's you against that particular person. I don't want to say them because you're thinking maybe it's all of them that's in the facility, all of them that has an issue or problem. No, them meaning that particular person. So I just want you guys to know it's very stressful dealing with that. I do believe, and this is just being honest, I hate to say it, that this man is going to probably be put into a mental facility, and he should. I know some people, especially if you're kin to Kylie, that and the baby, the unborn child is deceased, and then you got a 10-month. That's 3 people he took out of this world. That you feel only right that he gets life and the death penalty. But when people do things of this nature like this, you know, that's just the way it is. Okay, so let's see. Connie Bratch is in the house. She said it's in Idaho, right? Yes, Idaho. They does not have the insanity plea. Just like Lori Valor, they will send him to the hospital until he can stand trial. Well, that will probably be when hell freezes over because that man is off his rocker, and maybe he can. He has a whole car shop or something right next to his home where he was just working from the house and things of that nature. And who knows what, maybe he wasn't taking his meds. I don't know. And maybe he needed to, sometimes you just need to stay getting evaluated from your doctor and seeing what they say, Some meds, they just start not working anymore, and your body gets immune to them and accustomed to it. And now it's not working as it used to, So most of the time, people, they need their sleep. They need their sleep. If they say they want to sleep, let them sleep. If they want to sleep all day, let them sleep. Because when you don't have enough sleep, then that's when things hit the fan. That's when things hit the fan. So I was just reading that, but I want to see if they have something else here. 2 days. 2 days. Let me see what this says right here. Okay, yeah, that's on Saturday, December the 2nd, in connection with the death of his wife, appearing via Zoom. Bess heard his charges read by the county magistrate, Judge Jason Walker. A recording of the court appearance published by East Idaho News shows Bess appearing to become emotional as Walker reads the charges. He was. And it, you can kind of tell when people are faking. Hey, Bertha, how you doing? The nature of these crimes is as serious as they come. The murder of Kylie and her unborn child are argumentably the most horrific crime committed in Kenton County in recent years in history. According to the press release by the prosecution attorney, the initial criminal complaint charged Mr. Bess with 2 counts of murder in the second degree. As the investigation developed in the case, the charges were amended to 2 counts of murder in the first degree. And you know what's so weird? I wanted to go back and tell you guys something. You remember they had the case about what's the girl name and the boyfriend that went across the world and everybody was looking for her. I forgot her name. And her boyfriend, I don't know, his name was Brian. Her name, I can't remember what her name, but everybody was looking for her. What was her name? Somebody put it out there. I don't know why I want to say her name was Kylie. And her name wasn't no Kylie, though. Her name was, do you know when somebody does something to someone, they are no winners in the side? Gabby Petito. Yeah, Gabby Petito. Do you not know that they are now saying in the Gabby Petito case that Bryant's family, mainly his mother, was told Gabby was gone soon as he made it back to the house. Not gone like she went somewhere, but deceased gone. That his family knew that Brian had did something to that girl. And, that's crazy because the family act like they didn't know nothing. Brian and Gabby. Yep, Brian and Gabby. Yep. And when I seen that, I was like, okay. So Brian didn't want his family to go through everything, so he took himself out and took care of himself. So they say. I don't know, you guys. That's kind of hard for me to believe. But anyway, that's what they're saying. So I want to read this because this is another one. Upon further review of the 911 call recorded prior to the dispatch answering the line, a female can be heard repeating, Jeremy. And Jeremy, no. And there are sounds of a disturbance. The affidavits read, a male voice repeats, yes, in response, and then yells, get the F back. You're going to get shot. Followed by, I love you. I love you. I love you. No one is on the line when dispatch picks up the call. A deputy arrived at the resident around 11:55. Isn't it funny? The first call was at 11:55 a.m. that Jeremy was seen being naked, and now 12 hours later at 11:55 that night, Jeremy is he's really gone. And he done went to the hospital. He done got evaluated, done sent home, and within 12 hours this happened. En route, he noted passing a vehicle, exiting Skyline Line Loop, and headed west with the license plate beginning 1T39. Best was found near a Chevrolet with license plates 1T39349. The affidavit describes the property in concluding a license situated between two shops, which are located to the north and the south of the property. Best owns Jeremy's Auto Repair, and Randall's Best was a silver smith. So he owned both shops? I don't know. After arriving at the residence, the deputy walked along the west side of the north shop until he noticed an individual standing across the street. The individual identified himself as a across the street neighbor who he had heard a disturbance coming from the house. He stated he knew the couple who resided there and knew they had an infant. The neighbor told the deputy he recognized Kylie yelling, Jeremy, stop it. You have a baby. You have a baby. He then heard about 5 gunshots that sounded like they came from outside. According to the document, the neighbor also reported witnessing a black vehicle leaving the property. After no response to door knocking at the residence, the deputy walked down the driveway where he located a non-responsive female, later identified as Kylie, on the ground near the east side of the north shop. The deputy reported observing what appeared to be gunshot wounds. He attempted CPR. The shooter and the child was not located. They began the process to issue the Amber Alert. Other notable findings from the resident include a black revolver, a leather pistol holder nearby, a cell phone on the floor that was bent in half with the glass broken, and a large gun safe in the master bedroom with the door open. The affidavit also noted that interior cameras were present on the property and that the deputy found that the power had been shut off to the resident via the exterior breaker box. Whoa. So only person know that the camera doesn't work if you take, like when you, like I used to have this surveillance in my house, but it was the weirdest thing. It was from Cox Communications or whatever you want to call them, but I felt that I felt like, what good is it if they go and cut my power off? From outside, pull the plug, cut the cord, whatever they do. If they do that and want to come and hurt me, you're not gonna. What good is the camera? What good is the camera? So, it's always best to get some things that is, wireless. Like, I've got a camera right now, but it's not wireless. It's, plugged into the wall, and it sees from the street or whatever. I mean, I've got two cameras, but still, one of them, you might not see that one, but I got two. So, if one don't catch you, the other one will. I heard my baby's heartbeat being pregnant for 4 weeks. Okay, Connie. Come on now. So anyway, you guys, that was something that I'm not understanding, because get up there and stay. What I'm trying to say to you guys, you see how he was out of his rocker, right? And I just want to say it like that. I don't want to be mean or drastic about it, because it's not something funny, and it's not even cute to even make fun of people of that, was going through that. It can actually happen to anybody, to be honest with you. You never know. So actually, I am going to see what's going on here. Let me take this peel. Hold on. But sometimes some people wake up and then they may, no matter what they've been through or had or something, they have a problem, and then the problem becomes a bigger problem, until now, when they finally do go get help, they have made a whole bunch of mistakes, like not paying their bills, or, paid the wrong ones and went and partied or whatever. And then you start seeing people not doing what they're supposed to do. You go, hey, what's going on, And some of them may tell you it's embarrassing, and some of them may not tell you. It all depends on how they feel about you. Don't get mad because somebody won't tell you what's going on in their problems, their neck of the woods or something. It's just, hey, I look at it like this: the more I don't know, the better I'm gonna be, because then I feel like, how can I help you, and my kind of help and what you want gonna be two different things, because when I'm just $1 away from being broke myself, I can't help nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not what you want. You don't want to hear a whole bunch of noise and advice. Everybody think that their problem is money. And really, to be honest with you, it's not. Or the lack of money. But that's not the problem. The problem actually is how you dedicate or delegate your money out. Like, are you going to take care of your priorities first? Priorities to me is not going out to eat. That's not a priority to me. That's a privilege to me to be able to do that. Some people be like, oh, they want to go out all the time. Like my husband, he likes to go out all the time. I don't. I'd rather eat a sandwich and go to bed, or go get me some noodles and go to bed. So I'll always probably have some change on me. But he'll spend his last dime going out to eat, and then be wondering what he going to eat tomorrow. I don't have to wonder what I'm going to eat tomorrow, because I got noodles in there for the rest of my life. See what I'm saying? But my priority is making sure that the electric's paid, and the water's paid, and the house payment is paid, and the car is running fine. Those are my priorities. Some people have priority problems. I don't. So was he already diagnosed and on medication? They did not say that he was diagnosed with anything, or he was on medication. The way he looked, it seems to me, and I'm just more than likely, that he's been having mental problems way before this situation. Because think of it like this: when a person already has mental problems and they go to the hospital, they already know that individual. They already know, like he already knew what to say to leave. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. He knew what to say to leave. When you know what to say, that tells me you've been there many of times. Because like for me or you, we go to the hospital and something ain't right. We don't know the things to say to get us out of that situation. But he's been so many times, he know what to say and he knows what not to say. You guys follow what I'm saying? Because sometimes I would say, like we'll send somebody to the behavior unit, BU, and they be right back in like an hour. And we'd be like, hey, what the heck's going on? They just knocked out 2 windows. They saying somebody looking through the window. Ain't nobody looking through the window. That's a reflection of themselves. But they done knocked out 2 windows. They a danger to society. They a danger to themselves. You need to keep this person. Somebody's going to get hurt. But they send the person back because the person answered the question. They know their name. They know the date of birth. They know who the president is. They know the month. Are you going to harm yourself? No. Do you want to harm anybody else? No. Do you hear anything? No. They send them right on back. That's the main questions. And we know that. But if you lose control of yourself, you're not going to be able to answer those questions the first couple of times you go. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like if this is just a first time or you're on drugs or something and this is your first time going to a BU unit, we just call them behavior units. We don't call them mental psych wards and all that other stuff. We call them behavior units. But you're not going to, they ask you a question, you go, no, nothing's telling me to hurt nobody, or I want to, because mainly when people are depressed, they want to die. They're going to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're depressed. They're going to say, I don't want to live anymore. But people that's been through this time, they're going to say, no, I don't want to hurt myself. Why would I want to do that? They're going to say that because they have learned. Your body is made to protect itself. You guys know that. It's your body's self-preservation is protect the body. And it's going to do that. You're going to do it regardless if you think about it. You don't have to think about it. It's just like when you wake up. You don't think about waking up. You wake up. People think that they have to think about waking up. No, you wake up. Okay, when you get ready to sneeze. Sneezing is a mechanism to get rid of dust. Get rid of foreign objects that come into, all kind of capillaries that don't need to have dust in, like your nose or your eye when your eye water and stuff. That's your body, protecting itself from unwanted things. Every organism in your body, including your brain, your heart, your lungs, everything has that mechanism to protect itself. Like I said, your brain. So when people sit there and go, well, they drove all the way down the street. If they was cuckoo or something, how could they drive down the street? They can drive all the way to Mexico. And I guarantee you, when they get there, they still got in their mind, they're going to take this person out, that person out. A friend of mine sent me a little thing where there was this woman, I guess. She tried to burn up the house that not Jesse Jackson, but Martin Luther King were born at. And they told me that as I was coming on here. And they let me know. She was a sister. And so the people stopped her from burning down the house, but she done lost it. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Oh, I got something right here that's pulling on my neck. Let me get it. That's kind of weird. Um, you remember the little girl that her name? I think her name was Kylie or Kyra or Kira. Where's Kylie or something? She was in that Memphis area. Was it Memphis area? No, Georgia. She was in Georgia. No. Birmingham. She was in Alabama area. And she said she seen this baby walking down the highway. Then she turned around and she disappeared, and everybody was looking for her, and everybody was like, "Oh, where's Kylie? Where's Kylie? Where's Kylie?" And everybody was like, "Oh, SP, you need to talk about it." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm not," because I already know that girl had lost it. Everybody's like, "She did that on purpose." Let me tell you something. That girl needs some help. Okay. Nobody goes to the store, go buy some Cheez-Its, then come back and then describe Bozo the Clown. That's somebody that needs some help. You know? But oh, okay, I finally got it. Dang. I don't know what that was. But that girl oh wow, this just came in, you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys about it. It's not good news, it's bad news. Anyway, when everybody they got a movie out on it already. Wow. Yeah, I knew I did not want to be like, "Oh, you guys, we got to find her and this, that." I didn't want to get nobody upset because it just, when you looked at the video where the car started putting on the flashing lights and then where the car stopped at, I'm like, ain't nobody done seen no toddler walking down the highway going that far with nothing on but a diaper and a t-shirt, but she just driving down the street and then all of a sudden she stopped. I was like, that baby would have had a two. Okay, come on now. No. Sometimes you got to read the fine print. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off of here, but I want to share this with you because it just came in. It says a woman was arrested after cops say 4-year-old who drowned in a pool had already died. This just came in 6 hours ago. It says a 46-year-old woman has been arrested and charged with murder after a 4-year-old reportedly drowned in the backyard pool. Following a 2-year investigation into the suspicious death, police say the investigation began when police in Mecca, Australia, located in the territory of Queensland, approximately 600 miles north of Brisbane, were called to a home on Munborough Road on August 29, 2021 to report that a 4-year-old had drowned in a backyard pool, according to a statement from the Queensland Police. However, now more than 2 years after the child's death, the unnamed 46-year-old woman has been charged with the murder after extensive investigation. After extensive investigation through Operation Tango, detectives will now allege the 4-year-old child died before entering the pool, said the Queensland Police Service. Today, December the 8th, detectives from the Mackay Child Protective and Investigating Unit, called CPIU, arrested the woman at a South Mackay address. Good. Authorities did not disclose the child's cause of death, but allegedly that the pool had nothing to do with how the child died. The 46-year-old woman was arrested on Friday and has been charged with 1 count of murder, domestic violence offense, and 1 count of misconduct with corpse by interfering, according to the Queensland Police Service. Good for her. She is expected to appear before the Mackay Magistrate Court later today, police said. The investigation into the child's death is currently ongoing. Good. It's a lot of stuff that's going on with these kids. Here's where a 9-year-old child sends dad to prison after catching 6-minute bloody something. And then here's a 5-year-old Disemboweled parents murdered. The 6-year-old dies after neighbors allegedly forced his way into the house. A man stabbed 3 generations of girlfriend's family. Inmate who died after alleged torture, rape, and posted hunting last pictures. Oh my God, all this stuff. Sentenced to life anyway. White supremacist gang member. So a cheerleader, 16 years old, murdered in cold blood at the apartment. Georgia high school basketball star brain dead after teammate. Wow. That's crazy. Here we got a trans teenager, Brianna's injured, not survivable. And they're trying to keep her alive. This world is going into it, you guys. I'm gonna just let you guys know that. I mean, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anybody got anything? And I know I got to get those pictures and stuff done, and I will get them up and going. But yeah. Whew. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here. Uh, Sound like Braylon Noble's case? Yeah, it does, don't it? But it wasn't Braylon Noble. Yeah, it did sound like Braylon Noble's case, but his mother already pleaded. She pleaded guilty, and they gave her, they didn't give her nothing but probation. But they didn't let us all know what really happened to that baby, and she was supposed to tell them the truth. And she didn't even do that part, but her attorney got her off. But you guys knew what was going to happen. Her attorney got her off. But you know what? I say it like this. People be like, she should be doing this. You know what? She didn't get away with nothing. For y'all that really understand how this worked, do you really think she got away with killing her baby? Come on, be honest. Do you think that she just living her best life right now? Be absolutely honest. Put it in the chat. Whatever. What's her name? I can't even remember the girl's name because, you know, we could have made a big cadoodle out the whole thing. But to be honest with you, if you think she's living her best life without Braylon and she just got away and everything's fine and dandy. Or 2, if you think that she's going through it, she probably in mental hospital. She probably don't even want to live. I mean, sometimes no punishment is the best punishment ever because God sees it all, to be honest with you. And I guarantee you, I'd rather pay down here than to go up in front of the Lord and try to convince him that everything's okay or you just got comfortable. Because the Lord knows. I'm going to tell you right now, not all women love their kids like you love yours and I love mine. They just don't. But I guarantee you what? You know what? I know that there's a place for them people that mistreat a child. I guarantee you there's something for them. And no mistake, I ain't got to be there, see it, look at it, smell it, or whatever. I know for a fact that there's a special place for them. And it ain't up above. I don't care what you say. Now, sin is sin too, But I'm just saying, thou shalt not kill. You know, if you did those 10 things, if you could do those 10 things, you're going to be good. You know, you follow that direction, you ain't even got to worry about the whole Bible or whatever, you know. If you don't kill, steal, lie to your neighbor, want what your neighbor got, you know, fornicate, you're going to be all right. That's why some people get married. They say it's better to marry than to burn. Anyway, you guys, I'm not going to give you no lecture. I'm not going to start preaching to you. Because Lord knows we all need this help right now. Thank you, Lord Jesus. I'm waiting on some reports on the Tyree Nichols case. They should be getting ready to come back up to court. So you guys start looking out for that. And I will see you guys Monday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Bye.